Passive income, the biggest scam. So I want to talk about passive income. Why is it that some people think that passive income is the biggest lie or the biggest scam? So first, let us define passive income. What is passive income? So many business analysts or business advisors talk about passive income. So passive income is a type of an earned income that is acquired with little or no labor to earn or maintain it. It is often combined with other sources of income such as regular employment or a side job. Passive income, acquired or earned income, is typically taxable. So, what are we saying? Passive income is a type of an earned where you get it with no labor. Hmm? You spent no labor to earn it or maintain it. So you just sit or you just sleep and you find income in your bank account. That's what we mean by, or that's what the sources say about passive income. So the most popular form of passive income is investing in stocks. The stock market index fund. We also have other examples of passive income that include rental income. Rental income is whereby you have built a property, you have built a one bedroom, you have built a studio, then you rent it out. The income that you get from that property is called passive income. Another example is business activities in which the earner does not materially participate. You have business activities like you are selling something, you are selling a product, you are selling a book, you are selling a course, and you are not materially participating in that process of making that money. Also come from a form of lump sum payment. Like when you inherit money from your parents, for example, you sell your car, that one can also be considered as passive income. You can also sell a home or sell stock. You invested in maybe Apple 5 years or 10 years ago, and now you've decided to sell your stocks. You will get passive income. It can also be paid out over a period of time, though not necessarily at a regular amount. Some passive income may last for several years or even centuries or across the generations. These typically involve appreciating asset classes such as property, dividends, and or debt. So now that we've briefly touched about the types, let us now look deeper. What are the types of income? Passive income is often derived from work that one does not personally do. For example, dividends are based on stock. You can get dividends from investing in a stock market. You can get dividends from investing in SACCO shares. it gives you passive income. But the dividends still serve as passive income for stockholders, as the stockholder has done no physical work for that income. Rental income, or on the other hand, does it requires some physical labor. For example, if you have an apartment, you will need some physical work whereby you will be doing the management of that property. Management means that you are telling people to pay rent. You are the one who is maybe doing the registration. When someone wants to rent your property, you are the one who is drafting the lease agreement. Mm. When these people are not paying the tenants, you are the one who is pushing them. Mm. So that's the difference between rental income and other types of income. Passive income is different from active income. Number one, active income is earned through some form of labor. For example, when you teach, you are employed by a school, you are employed by government, you earn what we call taxable income. Income that you make from putting in your labor. And it is taxable from government. So we have examples: wages, self-employment income, and material participation in stores cooperation or partnership. So active income comes from participating or doing or offering a service. When a small business person like me offers service like tutoring, when I tutor you on how to start a small business, when I tutor you on how to get free money for small businesses, you will have to pay me. You have to pay me $50 per hour for me to train you on how to get grants. And that amounts to active income. Then we have what we call portfolio income. This is income that comes from investment in things like dividends, interest, capital gains, and some royalties. We also have leveraged income. Leveraged income is lever invested in a product that can be sold indefinitely in the future. For example, when you write an email or produce a video, you produce a documentary, this type of income is called passive income. Because although through the process of creating the product, you have to put in some substantial work. So that's what we call leveraged income. So what are some of the sources of passive income? Now, one of the most common sources of passive income is number one, deposits. When you deposit money in a circle, you deposit money in a bank, you can start getting passive income. One of the most common ways is to keep a set amount of money in the bank account. Each period the interest on the savings will accrue. So if you keep 1 million in the bank, at the end of every month, that money gains what we call interest. And that interest is established according to how you agree with the bank. So when you want to get money through, want to make passive income through deposits, you get what we call a certificate of deposit. So with CD, certificate of deposit, a depositor agrees to hold a fixed amount of money for a fixed period of time. It can be 3 months, it can be 6 months, it can be 1 year. Okay, so it all depends on how long you want to hold your money, and they often offer high interest rates than ordinary savings account. Okay, then we have bank deposits can be a good choice for those who don't prioritize safety and stability. If you prioritize safety and stability, then bank deposit is a good place to keep your money so that it grows. Number two source of passive income is stocks. Stock shares are arguably the main financial instrument for those who are planning to build wealth by forming passive income. Shares allow you to obtain income through value growth. Shares grow in value, and this is reflected as an increase in the market capitalization. For if you invest in a company, let's say Elon Musk's company Tesla, if you invest in electric vehicles, it means that if you started with the $30 per share, after 1 month or 2 months or 1 year, the shares will be maybe 35. You gain 5 shillings for every share, and that's what we call the value gain. However, investing in stocks is a very risky affair because the prices can be volatile, and they can fluctuate rapidly when the market forces or market changes. For example, value stock have high financial leverages and face substantial uncertainty in future earnings. The potential for higher returns can attract risk tolerant people who are looking for supplemental income. So, for you to invest in stocks, you must be someone who is risk tolerant. Then, number three source of passive income is dividend reinvestment plans. Now, investors have the option to automatically invest their dividends into additional shares of the same stock. This approach compounds returns over time, and this contributes to the growth of the investment portfolio. DRIPs are a strategy employed by many investors seeking to maximize their passive income from dividend paying stocks. So we've talked about deposit, we've talked about stocks. We've talked about dividend in reinvestment plans. Then we have bonds. Bonds represent the debts of issuers that are divided and sold to investors in small units. In other words, what are we saying? Hmm? It is a loan. A bond is a loan made by an investor to a borrower. Okay? So these can be municipalities, governments, or companies. A bond consists of the following: it has the coupon debt, it has the issue price, it has the face value, and the maturity date. The holder of the bond is called bond holder and is the guy who receives the interest payment determined by the coupon rate at the end of each fixed period. So the period is set by the coupon date from the date upon which it is issued. When the bond matures, the issuer pays the bondholder the face value. Now, when you receive income from coupon payments, it is regular and stable way of building passive income because you don't do any work. Bonds typically can also be resold to bondholders and repurchased by borrowers. An investor can profit from reselling the bond at a higher price and does not need to wait until it matures. Bonds are arguably safe. They are the safest financial instruments that can be a source of your passive income. They tend to be less volatile as compared to stocks because they are less responsive to changes in market conditions. Nevertheless, they also pay lower returns. What do we mean by uh, lower returns? And what should you do about it? The thing is, diversify your portfolio so that you have both bonds and stocks. Okay? That's what you are being advised to do. The next one is rental income and royalties. So, rental income is one of the main categories of passive income. There's a guy called J.A. Hobson. In the 1930s, he came up with this term called improperty. Improperty. This is a term that aimed to define a form of assets ownership used for extracting income from other individuals. So you can extract income from other individuals. A tenant's regular payment to a landlord is what we call rent. And individuals or company payments for the usage of one's assets is called royalty. They can provide a steady stream of income and have a good potential to appreciate in value over time. What is the advantage? The advantage of the given source is generally higher control. You will generally be more in control over your investment in comparison to other forms of passive income. So property owners, these are guys who have direct control over their management and operations in their property. The disadvantage of rental income is that the initial investment required is high. For example, if you want to purchase a rental property, it is financially costly than investing in stocks. If you want to build a one bedroom house in Kenya, you will probably need 3 million. But if you want to buy stocks in Kenya, you will need as little as 100 or 300 or 500,000. Then we have real estate crowdfunding. Crowdfunding in real estate. Real estate crowdfunding has emerged as a modern avenue for passive income. So several people can invest in real estate projects, typically by pooling together resources. Uh, and this pooling together of resources, for example, 10 guys, 20 guys, 50 guys can come together. They pool together resources using online technology or tools, and they can invest in one property so that they all start earning from that particular property when it is rented out. So I think those are sources of passive income. Which source are you going to use? Which source do you have experience using? So I want to let you give me your feedback in the comments section. Which one would you choose if you want to earn from passive income?